Hi, my name is Sonal, and I would like to share my experience with Trisha's work. I've always known her as a diligent girl because she was my batchmate from school, and she has always been a good friend. But we've always been in different cities. Last year in November, when I was in Bhopal for a month or so, I approached Trisha uh, with a few symptoms that I was feeling for the past few months, and it's fascinating that not fascinating rather it's saddening that a lot of what we feel, we try to calm ourselves down thinking that it is okay, it is something that everyone is going through. So I was having a few issues for I think 2 years, uh, and I didn't realize it. There were times when I would just not leave the room. I would try avoiding meeting people, and I'm a fairly social person, so that is something that was concerning to me and as well as people around me. And so I did not have peaceful sleep, and I would just wake up with a jerk in the night and have a bit of anxiety. And these were things I used to think are fairly normal, and everybody in my generation is going through the same. But I think there came a point where um, my dad had his health issues and all last year, and that was a phase that took quite a mental toll on me. And even then, I tried to suppress my feelings, and I thought that with time it'll be better. It's fine, we are fine, life goes on. And that is the main problem that I want to talk about. So many times we just have learned suppressing our mental needs, which is very disappointing, because even if we get a normal cold, we approach a doctor. But when we are unwell mentally, we just think that it's going to go away on its own. It does not go away until unless it just keeps on getting bigger and bigger, and then it starts showing as symptoms in your lifestyle, in your daily routine. It might be a physical illness, it might be uh, mental outbursts. So the symptoms that I was feeling was that I couldn't sleep well. I had terrible lack of concentration. I didn't feel like getting up from the bed in the morning. Um, I felt that my life is supposed to go in the wrong direction, and it is never going to be in the correct way. Like, I just did not, I stopped expecting anything good. And which is sad, because my life was going, if in logical terms, my life was going fairly well, right? So I approached Trisha with a lot of symptoms and anything and everything that I could think about, which was bothering me. And I think 10, 15 sessions in the first go. And the immediate relief that I could feel was that I started sleeping well, which was a big deal for me. And because in years, it was the first time that I slept peacefully for hours. I started feeling very light, and I realized that it's when you see the light, you realize the dark place that you're coming from or you were in. And I I had this instant feeling of just lightness in my mind and body, and I started it I felt happy, as simple as that. And it was amusing how you get to know that so many perceptions that you find that you form about your life are through your growing years. And we think that these experiences don't count much, and we tend to forget in our conscious mind, but our subconscious records everything, converts them into principles and thought processes, which become so concrete when we grow up. And that is how our reaction mechanism develops. I'm getting a bit too technical here, but I got to know so much through the therapy sessions with Trisha, that it was like me taking a deep dive in my own head, which was surreal. It was a fascinating experience to me. And post that, I have approached her with other problems as well. Like, for example, when I was in Bombay and she was in Bhopal, I had this constant issue of heaviness in my chest. And I used to think that maybe it is some allergy and it will go away in due time. But it did not. And it was not an allergy. And I approached Trisha, and I think it took one session, and immediately after the session, that feeling went away. And I realized it was some news that I'd heard in February that had a deep impact on my mind. And even though consciously I thought that, it won't bother me as much, but it did bother me. And through this testimonial, I just want to spread this message. If you're not feeling okay, and everybody's definition of okay and not okay are different, right? If you feel that something is bothering you, if you're feeling heavy inside, if you're not having sufficient sleep, there can be multiple things that are bothering you, but you're just letting them go, that they'll settle on their own. I would just request you to approach Trisha, or approach a counselor for that matter. The best thing about her therapy is that it does not intervene with your with your physical body, right? Because it totally works on your mind. It does not involve any medicines or anything like that. And it was a very meditative experience for me. And I'm glad that I have a friend and I have a therapist who took up this science and is helping people with her work. Thanks, Trisha.